Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram. Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai. We are reading from Bhagavad Gita chapter 6. Today, text 24 from text 20. 23rd verse. In the state of perfection called trance or samadhi, one's mind is completely distinct from the mental activities by practice of yoga. This perfection is characterized by one's ability to see the self with a pure mind and to relish and rejoice in the self. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendency. Boundless happiness. And when someone sees that stage, he should not be disturbed. Being suited in such a position, one is never shaken. Guru napi vichal, even in the midst of greatest difficulty. Now, text 24. Shanishchena juktabbo yoga anivinna chetasa sankalpa prabhan kamang stekta sarvana sheshat mana shaivendriyo gramam vini amma samantata. Shanishchena juktabbo, that. Nishchayana, nishchaya means determination. Nishchayana, with firm determination. Juktabbo must be yoga system. Or nirvinna chetasya, without deviation. Sankalpa, mental speculation. Sankalpa, prabhavan, born of kama, material desire. Sankalpa, prabhavan, kama. Due to defective desire, born different sankalpa. Like kama, want to eat ice cream, then I'm planning I should buy one fridge. Sankalpa. This sankalpa come from kama. From common rise, sankalpa. One should give up all this. Takta, giving up, sharban, all. Ashishata, completely. Manusha by the mind, he was certainly. Indriyo gramam. Indriyo means senses. Gramam is plural number. Indriyo gramam means the full set of senses. Indriyo gramam. Viniyamma. Niyam, jam, niyam. Viniyamma, regulating. Samantata, of all sides. One should engage oneself in the practice of yoga with determination and faith and not be deviated from the path. One should abandon without exception all material desires born of material speculation and thus control all the senses of all sides by the mind. I am reading again. One should engage oneself in the practice of yoga with determination and faith and not be deviated from the path. One should abandon without exception all material desires. Prabhupada is so emphatic. One should abandon, this is enough. But he included another, without exception. Don't give any excuse. Oh, except this I will do. All this. Like, one should give up all intoxication. Yes, except tea. No exception. One should abandon without exception all material desires born of material speculation and thus control all the senses on the sides by the mind and thus control all the senses on all sides by the mind. The yoga practitioner should be determined and should patiently prosecute the practice without deviation. The yoga practitioner, I'm reading, the yoga practitioner should be determined and should patiently pursue. So here the determination is nishchaya and patience is dharja. Nishchaya, dharja, which thing? Yoga practice, utsaho. For practicing yoga practice, one should be determined and patient. Utsaha, nishchaya, dharja. One should be sure of success at the end and pursue this course with great perseverance, not becoming discouraged if there is any delay in the attainment of success. Success is sure for the rigid practitioner. Regarding Bhakti Yoga, Rupa Goswami says, third verse of instruction, Utshat Nishat Dharja, Tattat Karma Pravartan, Sangotagat Shatabritte, Sharvir Bhakti Prasiddha. One can execute the process of Bhakti Yoga successfully with full-hearted enthusiasm, perseverance, and determination. Prabhupada, how nice word. One can execute the process of Bhakti successfully with enthusiasm, perseverance, and determination. But enthusiasm, he gives this adjective, full-hearted enthusiasm. Wow. What is it? Utsaha? Utsaha, not only enthusiasm. Utsaha means full-hearted enthusiasm, perseverance, and determination. Tattat karma pravartana. What is that? By following the prescribed duties. Tattat karma pravartana. Tattat karma. That activities, what is recommended in the scripture or by the spiritual Vaishnavas, Guru Vaishnavas. That thing, these three things you do. And another two things. Sangotagat Satabritte. In the associated devotees by engaging completely in the activities of goodness. As for determination, one should follow the example of the sparrow who lost her eggs in the waves of the ocean. Very nice example of a sparrow. A sparrow laid her eggs on the shore of the ocean, but the big ocean carried away the eggs on its waves. The sparrow became very upset and asked the ocean to return her eggs. The ocean did not even consider her appeal. So the sparrow decided to dry up the ocean. She began to pick out the water in a small beak, and everyone laughed at her for her impossible determination. The news of her activity spread, and at last Guru, the gigantic part, carrier of Lord Vishnu, heard it. He became compassionate toward his small sister one, and so he came to see this sparrow. Guru was very pleased by the determination of the small sparrow, and he promised to help. Thus Guru at once asked the ocean to return her eggs. Return her eggs, lest he himself take up the work of the sparrow. Thus Guru at once asked the ocean to return her eggs, lest he himself take up the work of the sparrow. The ocean was frightened at this and returned the eggs. Does the sparrow become happy by the grace of God? What is the teaching? The sparrow could not dry up the ocean, but he got her eggs. Similarly, the practice of yoga, especially Bhakti Yoga, in Krishna consciousness, may appear to be a very difficult job. But if anyone follows the principles with great determination, the Lord will surely help. For God helps those who help themselves. This is a famous verse, famous proverb. This is a proverb. God helps those who help themselves. If someone wants to walk, somebody help him to walk. If somebody doesn't want to walk, who will come to help him? And that determination is not one day. It will take time, gradually. Shanai shanai uparame buddhaditi grihitaya atma shangstham manokritta no kinchita vichinta, no kinchita vichinta. Shanai shanai, gradually, step by step. Uparamed, one should hold back. Uparamed. Shanai shanai uparamed. How? By intelligence. Buddha by intelligence. And dhriti, grihita, carried by conviction. So two things, intelligence and determination. Determination. Buddha, dhriti, grihita. So intelligence and determination. Through intelligent determination, one should hold back. That will be gradually, step by step. Shanai shanai, both the same meaning, but Prabhupada has given one shanai is gradually, one shanai is step by step. Atma shangstham, placed in transcendence, mana mind, kritva, making, no, not. Kinchitapi chintaya, kinchitapi, even anything else, kinchitapi. Kinchit means anything else, api even. Chintaya should think of. Gradually, step by step, one should become situated in trance by means of intelligence, sustained by full conviction. Thus, the mind should be fixed on the self alone and should think of nothing else. Prabhupada's English is so nice, huh? Gradually, step by step, one should become situated in trance by means of intelligence and sustained by full conviction. By means of intelligence and conviction, but by means of intelligence and sustained by full conviction. How one sustain? Due to conviction. Yes. And thus the mind should be fixed on the self alone. Only kinchita vina chintaye, alone, and should think of nothing else. Kinchitapi no chintaye. Kinchitapi no chintaye or no kinchitapi chintaye. Same thing. By proper conviction and intelligence, one should gradually cease sense activities. This is called prattaha. Prattaha, and here is called uparamed. Uparamed. One should hold that. Uparamed and prattaha is the same. The mind being controlled by conviction, meditation, and cessation from the senses should be situated in trance or samadhi At that time, there is no longer any danger of becoming engaged in the material conception of life. In other words, although one is involved with matter, as long as the material body exists, one should not think about sense gratification. One should think of no pleasure aside from the pleasure of the Supreme Self. This state is easily attained by the direct practice in Krishna consciousness. Now, question may come, I have tried, but very difficult to come. Because you can understand the chanting. But what to do? You go, bring back. It is not a let her go. Let him go. Jato jato nischalati manaschanchalam astiram tatas tatas niyamaitat atmaneva vashan. Jato jato. Wherever. Jaha jaha. Jato jato. Wherever. Nischalati becomes very agitated. Or Nishchal, very agitated. Mana, the mind. Why? Because his nature is like that. Chanchalam asthira. Because this mind, the nature of the mind, chanchalam, flickering and asthiram, unstable. Jato jato nishchaliti, wherever it goes, wanders. Here, nishchalati, chalte, jahaja jata, chalte, nishchalati, becomes very agitated, and Purva there, mind wanders. Where wanders, travel different places, nishchalati. Due to its nature of chanchalam and asthiram, flickering and unsteady nature. Jato jato, and wherever, from there, tato tato, from there. Jato jato, tato tato, from there. Niyamaitat, niyama, regulating. Yatat, this, all this mind. Niyama, so yatat niyamaitat, regulating this mind. Where should put Atmani eva Vasham? Atman in this self. It was certainly Vasham quantum Ayet. Must bring under. Kalam Noet Okhilam iti Upadeshashara. Must bring under. Must do. Kalam Noet Okhilam iti Upadeshashara. Lecture of instruction, 8 verbs. Kalam Noet. In such a way, spending time, life is the essence of all instruction. From wherever the mind wanders, due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. The nature of the mind is flickering and unsteady, but a self-realized yogi has to control the mind. The mind should not control him. One who controls the mind is called Goswami or Swami, and one who is controlled by the mind is called Kodash, or the servant of the senses. A Goswami knows the standard of sense happiness. In transcendental sense happiness, the senses are engaged in the service of Rishikesh, or the supreme owner of the senses, Krishna. Serving Krishna with purified senses is called Krishna consciousness. That is the way of bringing the senses under full control. What is more, there is highest perfection of yoga practice. I'm reading again. Serving Krishna with purified senses is called Krishna consciousness. Sarvadi vinirmuktam tatpartha nirmalam rishikano rishikashashavanam bhakti. With purified senses, serving Krishna, serving Krishna purified senses is called Krishna consciousness. That is the way of bringing its senses under full control. Atmanieva Vashangnaya. Atmanieva Vashangnaya. Bring it back under the control of the self. What is more? That is the highest perfection of yoga practice. Text 26. Prashanta manasahi enam yoginam sukham uttamam upaiti shanta rajasam brahmabhutam akalmasam. Prashanta manashi, prashanta manas, prashanta, peaceful, fixed on the lotus feet of Krishna. Prashanta manasya, whose mind is peaceful, fixed on the lotus feet of Krishna. He is a prasanna manas. Prasanna manas, no, I've got a lot of money, I'm not only happy. No, because that money cannot give permanent happiness. So only permanent prasanna manas means one fixed in the lotus feet of Krishna. He is certainly enam these yoginam, shukam, happiness, uttamam, the highest, upoiti, attains, shanta rajasam, is passion pacified. Shanta rajasam, rajas and passion becomes shanto, pacified. Brahmabhutam, in that state is called Brahmabhutam. Liberation by identification with the Absolute. Brahmabhutam. Brahmabhutam opposite Jivabhutam. Brahmabhutam transcendental. Means liberation by identification with the Absolute. Brahmabhutam Prashannatma Na Shachati Napam. 18th chapter, 55. Brahmabhutam Prashannatma. He also the same thing. Prasanna Manasya, Brahmabhutam Akalmasya. But Brahmabhutam, only that time, that piece will come. Brahmabhutam. Akalmasam. Kalmash means kalmash, dirty thing, sinful reaction. Akalmasam, free from all past sinful reactions. Yogi, whose mind is fixed on me, verily attains the highest perfection of transcendental happiness. He is beyond the mode of passion. He realizes his qualitative identity with the Supreme, and thus he is freed from all reactions to past deeds. The yogi whose mind is fixed on me verily attains the highest perfection of transcendental happiness. He is beyond the mode of passion. He realizes his qualitative identity with the Supreme. Thus, he is free from all reactions, past deeds. Sharupena Bhavastiti. Sharupena Bhavastiti. Sisud in his own identity. I am servant of Krishna. That is, he realizes qualitative identity. I am Supreme, I am Brahma, part of the Brahma, Supreme Brahma. So, Brahma is Satchitananda, I am also Satchitananda. He realizes his qualitative identity with the Supreme. Thus he is free from all reactions to past deeds. Just by realizing, I am not this body, that's all. Brahmabhuta is the state of being free from material contamination and situated in the transcendental service of the Lord. Bhakti labhate param. One cannot remain in the quality of Brahman, the absolute truth, until one's mind is fixed on the lotus feet of the Lord. We read yesterday also. Savai mano Krishna padar vindayo. to be always engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, or to remain in Krishna consciousness, is to be factually liberated from the mode of passion in all material contamination. Text 20. Junjan evam sadatmanam yogi vigata kalmashaha sukhina brahma sangsparsham attantam sukhamasham. Junjan, engaging in yoga practice. Junjan is niyukta, what Sanskrit word, niyukta. Junjan, engaged in. Junjan means engaged. But here engaged means in yoga practice. Here Junjan not engaged in cheating activities. Junjan means actually engaging. Engaging in the yoga. Junjan, eva, das. Shada, always, atmana, the self. Yogi, one who is in touch with the Supreme Self. Vigata kalmasha. Kalmasha means material, all material contamination. Kalmasha. Kalmasha means contamination. But Prabhupada tells you all material contamination. That is vigata, freed from vigata. Then when kalmasha can, then happiness. Sukhena brahma sangsparsha. Sukhena. In the transcendental happiness. What is that? Brahma sangsparsha. Being in constant touch with the Supreme. Sangsparsha, sparsha, connected. Brahma sangsparsha. Being in constant touch with the Supreme. Attantam sukham ashnute. Ashnute means, ashnute attains. What it attains? Attanta sukham. Shukh. Sukham ashnute. He attains happiness. What type of happiness? Attantam. Attantam means highest. Anta means end. Oti anta means up to that end. Attanta means the highest. Oti anta. Thus, the self-controlled yogi, constantly engaged in the yoga practice, becomes free from all material contamination and achieves the highest stage of perfect happiness in transcendental loving service to the Lord. Self-realization means knowing one's constitutional position in relationship to the Supreme Lord. Self-realization. The individual soul is part and parcel of the Supreme, and his position is to render transcendental service to the Lord. This transcendental contact with the Supreme Lord is called Brahma Sangsparsha. Mukti hittha annatha rupam swarupena vyavastha. Swarupena vyavastha. Situate it in his real identity that I am the servant of God. Sarva bhutastam atmanam, sarva bhutani chatman, ikkhata jagadiktatma sarvatta samadasya. Sarvatta samadasya. Sarva bhuta stham means situated, sthit, stham, in all beings, situated in all beings. Atmanam, the Supreme Soul, the Super Soul. Serve all bhutani entities, also. Atman in the self. Ikkhate does see Yoga Yuktatma, one who is dovetailed in Krishna consciousness. Yoga Yuktatma. Sarvatra Samadasana. Sarvatra, everywhere Samadasana. Sing equality. A true yogi serves me in all beings and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. A Krishna conscious yogi is a perfect seer because he sees Krishna, the Supreme, situated in everyone's heart as Super Soul. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Rityeshe Arjuna Tishta. The Lord in his Paramatma feature is situated within both the heart, the dog, and that of a Brahman. The perfect yogi knows that the Lord is eternally transcendental and is not materially affected by his presence in either a dog or a Brahman. That is the supreme neutrality of the Lord. The individual soul is also situated in the individual heart, but he is not present in all hearts. That is the distinction between the individual soul and the super soul. One who is not factually in the practice of the yoga cannot see so clearly. A Krishna conscious person can see Krishna in the heart of both the believer and the non-believer. In the Smriti Shastra, Shattata Tantra, this is confirmed as follows. Otatavat cha otatatta cha matritta atmahi paramohari. The Lord, being the source of all beings, is like the mother and the maintainer. As the mother is neutral to all different kinds of children, the Supreme Father outwardly also. The Supreme Father is also. Consequently, the Super Soul is always in every living being. Outwardly also, every living being is situated in the energy of the Lord. As will be explained in the 7th chapter, the Lord has primarily two energies, the spiritual or superior and the material inferior. The living entity, all the part of the superior energy, is conditioned by the inferior energy. The living entity is always in the Lord's energy. Every living entity is situated in him in one way or another. The yogi sees equal because he sees that all living entities, all in different situations, according to the results of creative work, in all circumstances remain the servants of God. While in the material energy, the living entity serves the material senses. And while in the spiritual energy, he serves the Supreme Lord directly. In either case, the living entity is a servant of God. This vision of equality is perfect in a person in Krishna consciousness. Very nice. Huh? Okay. Nam Rashika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat pranams to you. Maharaj, in verse 26, it is said the nature of the mind is flickering and unsteady, but a self-realized yogi has to control the mind. So, Maharaj, a self-realized yogi has to control the mind, but he is self-realized yogi because he has controlled the mind, no?
Yeah, yeah, this is same meaning. It is not that self-realized yogi has to do this. This means if you want to be a self-realized yogi, you have to do this.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Hmm.
Sometimes in the जो नाम अपराध बोलने के बाद क्या बोलते हैं जो खुद को हाँ उसमें जो भक्त मानते हैं उसको दास्युता अपराध से मुक्त होना चाहिए तो
Hmm.
इसका मतलब जो कोई भक्त नहीं सोचते हैं मैं वैष्णव हो गया इट्स अंडरस्टैंडेबल दैट वो क्या बोलना चाहते हैं जो खुद को वैष्णव समझता है उनको दास्युता अपराध से मुक्त होना चाहिए कोई इससे वैष्णव समझता है किसी को इट इज अंडरस्टैंडेबल का जो वैष्णव होना चाहते हैं और जो वैष्णव हो गया है उसके गुण इस understand what is.
Okay, got that. Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, yes.
Maharaj, this line, outwardly also, every living being is situated in the energy of the Lord. What does this mean, Maharaj? Outwardly also, every
Like
living being.
all living entities in the energy of those are not devotee, conditioned soul. They are also within Krishna's energy.
Oh.
It is not that we are not Krishna devotee, we are out of Krishna. They
Hmm.
are also within.
Hmm. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Maharaj.
Varsha Kumari.
Hare Krishna Dandavat Maharaj. Thank you for this wonderful class. Maharaj, as I was reading previous verses, so there it was mentioned, since the ultimate goal of yoga practice is to see the Lord within, a Krishna conscious person is already the best of all yogis. So why the so much focus is there to see Krishna within the heart? मतलब बहुत सारे purports में as I was reading, there was a focus to see Krishna in the heart. Why not see Krishna directly as Bhagwan and have go back home back to God and see him face to face? Why so much focus is given to see him in the heart, realize him there?
Because this chapter is Ashtanga Yoga. This Ashtanga Yoga process to see Paramatma in the heart. So telling the yogis, don't try to see the Paramatma, try to see Krishna. Don't go in a gradual process. You got the point? If anybody want to see that, but you cannot say a top thing at a time. At least try to see, we cannot see at least everywhere Krishna. And try to see at least in the heart first. At least try to see in the temple, in the murti, try to see Lord first there. Then you see, then you can try to see other living entity. Then you can see everywhere. Gradual process.
I had one more question. May I ask this?
Yes.
Maharaj, this question was from Krishna book. As some days before we were discussing about the dream. So वहाँ mentioned था कि we see two types of dreams. Like one we see alone and the other we are seeing while waking up, while with others also. So from there I wanted to ask that Srila Prabhupada says na dreams just come like golden mountain. So when Gurujans comes in a dream, so they give us some instructions. So that is also due to our, like we are thinking of them in the whole day, so that's why they came in our dreams and they're instructing, or are they actually instructing us something in our dream?
Your internet is disturbing. So I understood that Guru also told if you see something in connection with Krishna and from all other thing is less dream. Okay? Are you able to hear?
No, my I'm not able to hear anything.
If you see Guru Krishna in dream, that is real. But apart from that thing, if you see other thing, that is no value. You have become the king, no value of it. Oh, maybe I have seen, oh, I become king, so I should practice from now. No value. That type of thing. Okay. Bhagavad Gita. Go.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.